already, but they finally talking about it.
I wanted to hear that little spin on it, but play the video again so people can be reminded of what Herschel said and what Obama said.
All right.
Said, which I thought was quite funny.
I'm gonna tell you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I want to be a werewolf.
Mr. Walker has been talking about issues that are of great importance to the people of Georgia. Like whether it's better to be a vampire or a werewolf. This is a debate that I must confess I once had myself. When I was 7. Then I grew up.
I think just a big dummy.
I wanted my sister to play what Whoopi said after this.
All right, hold on. It's ridiculous. Ugh. He's such an idiot.
He is.
And then he had the nerve. I was watching on Jimmy Kimmel. You know how Jimmy Kimmel make fun of everybody?
Yes.
And he sent some guy to pretend like he was in part of that. He was an older white guy, so he blended right in with the people that come to see Herschel Walker speak.
Really?
And as he was talking, he kept yelling from the audience, say something about the vampire. Do the vampire. And Herschel Walker was like, yeah, they don't understand or something. And then Herschel Walker said, yes. If they would have listened, they would have understood that I was trying to make a point. It was something along those lines. There is no point, you big dummy.
We'll go with what Whoopi said.
All right, here we go. He want to make a point. And he rambled. Before that, he rambled. He was talking about the kids watching a movie within a movie within a movie.
Right.
And then they was trying to fight the vampire. And then he understood you can really fight a vampire. You can kill a vampire. You know what? Guess what? In fantasy world, you can kill a werewolf too.
Let's go.
You big dummy.
I gotta hear what Whoopi said.
All right, here we go.
She said kind of along the line.
He get on my nerves. He's so stupid.
Kind of like what you saying now.
Just stupid. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to say this so that everybody's clear about this. First of all, werewolves are mortal. Okay? Vampires are immortal. Vampires can fly. Okay? I guess he was talking about faith because he'd seen a movie where an atheist couldn't kill a vampire with a cross. You don't actually need faith to kill a vampire. I mean, if we're going to talk about these things, let's really talk about them in their entirety.
Yes.
Thank you, Whoopi.
Thank you. See, I'm not even.
Hello, welcome to the
Talk about werewolves and vampires.
I'm a comedian, right? I didn't even see this, right? You see, I didn't see this, right?
Even see the show.
But as a comedian,
Yes.
that's the first place we go.
Yes.
If we're gonna talk about it, if you're gonna be 7 years old,
you're in the land of werewolves and vampires.
if Superman is really gonna fight Batman, then let's really talk about Superman and Batman.
And the power he has in his cape or his in his arms or kryptonite. Yeah, he in fantasy world, but still he's not bringing truth to even that world.
And you have an election tomorrow. This man, y'all want this man to be y'all senator.
Thank you.
Who is going to respect him? When he stands up inside that place to talk, everyone, all the senators, only thing they're going to think of is werewolf versus vampire. That's all they're going to think about.
Alyssa said on this subject, it's unfortunate that their numbers are still tight. They're running close neck and neck because there are still people who are, gotta make sure he's a knucklehead, but I want him to fill the seat and whatever. And she was glad to mention this lieutenant governor of Georgia, Jeff Duncan, and what he said. So show quickly what he said, and some people are feeling the way he feels.
This one?
Yes.
All right.
A Republican, Jeff Duncan, saying he waited in line, but he actually couldn't bring himself to vote for Herschel Walker. Do you have that clip?
I showed up to vote this morning. I was one of those folks who got in line and spent about an hour waiting. And, it was the most disappointing ballot I've ever stared at in my entire life since I started voting. I had two candidates that I just couldn't find anything that made sense for me to put my vote behind. And so I walked out of that that ballot box, showing up to vote but not voting for either one of them.
And that's what's happening in this sort of like Trump-controlled era.
This whole thing.
That's what I think is going to happen.
People are walking away. They're like, I couldn't even. He couldn't even bring himself to vote for Herschel.
But how can some people do?
I don't know.
What's in your mind
that still
you
want to
would
vote for this knucklehead?
I've seen some people who are Republicans say, you know what? Sometimes you just got to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
If you don't have a candidate, you just be like,
write in, or anybody to write in,
or write in a name, or just be like, you know what? I'm going to throw in the towel on this one.
Yeah.
And just, you know, huh? Yeah.
That's what they're saying. That's why this guy said he stood in line for 2 hours. He said he couldn't bring himself to check off Herschel's name.
You can't
He's
do
a
that,
Republican.
guys.
He's like, I can't.
You can't.
Okay.
Because you can't, in my opinion, you can't. And even if you was to say the whole moral thing, with all these women coming forth and saying that you want to pay for them to have an abortion, even on the moral standpoint, how can? And then Kanye says dumb things like vote for Herschel because even though he paid for an abortion, it doesn't mean he believes in abortion.
Well, we get that, but one of the, which is leading to what Juju Chang, because she was a guest on the show as well, on the panel. She said she interviewed the recent lady that came up. And she said this woman who has been in a relationship with Herschel for 6 years, she said she didn't even want to come forth at all. She said what made her come forth
was
that he lied. He was lying about their relationship, the abortion thing. She said he pressured her to get one. And she said because of the lack of integrity and the lying, she said, I had to say something. So that's what Juju Chang was saying when after her interview with this lady. People are tired. If he would have just said, like, even with Kanye, I can see, I did that in my past. I don't do that no more.
He don't even say that.
He don't even say that. He just lied.
He's an idiot.
So just
yeah, when Obama came out and they were saying that was it. That was the nail in the coffin, I guess, for the vampire thing. It's when he came and said, leave him alone. I once had that debate too. We've all had that debate. Leave Herschel alone.
That's true.
But I was 7 when I had that debate.
You know what? That's true. Because even for Halloween, as a young kid, you don't know to do werewolf or a vampire because they both were like, ooh. And then you start seeing movies and you go, ooh, okay, is the werewolf more exciting because of the thick claws or in the teeth? Or is the vampire with his cape?
Right.
I come to drink your blood.
He's just an idiot.
Oh.
So that was good.
7 years old.
And then I love when Obama, they didn't have it on this clip. He said Herschel he has every right to be anything he wants to be in this world.
Yes.
Except for your U.S. Senator.
Thank you. Knock, knock.
So that was good. That was good.
Okay.
All right. That was it for them? All right. Yeah. All right. So let's go quickly because everybody's talking about the Deion Sanders thing.
Oh.
Do you know what's going on with Deion Sanders?
I just read this.
New coach Deion Sanders promises